Shoot, it's 6:30 and I'm still drinking coffee. Lord, y'all pray for
Well, you
me.
tell him, bro. I need a call. I need to cut my damn self.
Yeah, hey, Starbucks, shouts out to Starbucks. They got the protein in their coffee now. They just launched the protein lattes. Go get you one.
Okay, I got to figure that one out then. I ain't
Yeah,
had that
I had
one.
one earlier today, and 2 thumbs up. 2 thumbs up.
Good.
Listen here, man. Let's get into it, brother. Look at Montel Allen in the building. We got Marvin Stark joining in early. He probably on the clock. Probably supposed to be working, and he gonna come
That's
hang
all
out
good.
with us.
I'm glad the brothers. I'm glad he's showing up. Good.
That's true.
What's
But
up,
pay
Marvin?
attention on the job, though. God, the stuff that he do. We definitely. I'm not gonna put his business out there, but pay attention to what you're doing. And listen, the show is official. Ladies and gentlemen, Senior is in the building. We're gonna hang out tomorrow. We're gonna watch some. We can watch some WNBA finals.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Okay, let's just start there.
Let's start there. Yeah, let's start there. Let's start there for real.
Let's start because, and there's a whole lot of ways that we can go with WNBA. Because one, obviously, ratings and viewership are up. Surprised to see Indiana get so deep without not just without Caitlin, but good Lord,
Yep.
3-4
Boston in foul
starters was gone.
trouble. Yeah. They. I mean, they fought hard, man. They showed you what pure basketball is about and what you can do. I thought that was a good game. They gave the Aces everything they can give. Now it's a desert series, right? The Aces versus the Mercury.
Yeah.
Right down the street as far as the league is concerned. So I mean, it's man, they got some. They got a lot of good in the WNBA going on.
Yeah.
And on the business side, on the back end, there's a lot
Talk
of
about
bad
it.
going
That's
on.
what we going that's what we're gonna
Yeah.
pick at that scab a little bit. My
Yeah.
goodness. When you got Nafeesha Collier, when you got she could have been the MVP. I'll say that. She was probably second running, but definitely a defensive player of the year. But when you got high caliber stars in the league calling out leadership, not just calling out the commissioner, but calling out the officiating, and all those officials work for the commissioner. So yeah, she's talking about the leadership of the WNBA and saying we got to do something wrong because we getting beat up out here.
I think it starts with the top, and I think it's more than that. I don't think it's just you just talking about officiating. They're talking about the money issues that they're having as far as player salary, the market ship that they've gained. I mean, you got to think. Remember, we were talking about WNBA 2 years ago. No one even knew about it. Now those people are household names. We got players that are household names now that are taking, getting their own shoe brand and bringing a lot of viewership to the thing. They're getting TV contracts now strictly for WNBA, not for NBA. And we're just going to tag y'all on. They're getting their own contracts and they're selling out arenas where they go. I mean, the playoffs have been sold out. And I mean, Caitlin gets sold out wherever she goes, even on the bench. But I mean, their games are being sold out now of arenas. So with that being said, they want a bigger piece of the market share. And it's funny, I read an article today that were talking about how can Angie Reese and Caitlin Clark and I forgot the other rookie's name, how can they be the top faces of the WNBA and they have 4 of the lowest salaries, base salaries in the WNBA?
Bruh.
Like, make it make sense. It doesn't make sense. They're drawing, God willing that Caitlin makes $16 million outside of basketball with her NIL deals and her commercials and stuff. But if she was just living off basketball money, she would be broke.
Nothing.
Literally, pretty much broke.
They're not even making
averaging a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm saying they're not even making. I think on average $70,000 a year.
Yeah.
The WNBA players. I think the top person was making like 120 or something like that. So that's even, you put it in perspective depending on where you live, right? I mean, 120 can get you a little something somewhere, but that's still for all the butts in the seats that you bring into the arenas, all the merch that you selling, and you only making $70,000, $80,000, $90,000 a year to go out there and put your body on the line every other night.
Well, I think if you think of it even more this way, let's say their team budget for spending salaries and coaches is $4 million.
Yeah.
4. That's been because you only got 12 players, right? 12 players, coaches, and all. Your cap is $4 million for the staff and everybody. The average WNBA team this year brought anywhere from 25 to 50 million. So you're only paying
that's a whole
out
lot of zeros and commas, folks.
Yeah. So think about it. They made 50 million. You're only paying out 4. 46 million is going to who? because those are the people that are doing really the work in the job, right? They're the coaches and
That's
the
true.
players.
That's true.
So that's basically 20 people are dividing 4 million, while 4 people or 5 people, whoever owners, are dividing 46 million. It doesn't make sense.
It don't make sense.
Now, don't get me wrong. I think ownership should deserve majority because they own it. They bought the team. They do all these other things, and there's other expenses. But the expenses are covered by the TV contract.
Yes.
They don't have to worry about expenses of the stadium. They don't have to worry about paying no light bill. They ain't got to pay about the flights for the players. That's all paid by TV contracts. So don't get bamboozled by that. They've generated $50 million. If they generated $50 million and you're only paying out 4, and these people are putting, they're doing all these different things, they deserve a bigger piece of the pie, and I 100% agree with it. Because they're selling, they don't get no jersey money. They don't get anything. So it's absolutely right. And I think the commissioner there has done a poor job of communicating and starting to, and helping them find the middle ground. She's more a voice of the owners and not voice of the players. I think that, and I think the commissioner's I think she's gonna resign, or she either resigned or she's about to resign because of the pressure that's being put on her.
Yeah, it's not looking good.
I think they need a new fresh face, that's someone that understands business, diversity, sports, and as well as the way the climate of the market, the way things are going for them.
So someone who's respected in the industry already. I know who I think, and I know it's a long shot.
I don't even think it has to be in the industry. I think it's someone to be familiar or around the industry, not someone that's necessarily in it. I can tell you mine right now. I think Felicia Mayo should be the commissioner. And if you don't know who Felicia Mayo is, she was a diversity champion for Elon Musk for Tesla a long time ago. She was one of the head of diversity for Nike 4 years ago, and for Block. She's very familiar with sports because I think she was one of the people that were in control of Serena Williams and their account that made her go from, a household name. So she has a very strong background. She understands the business. She understands the WNBA. I know she was offered, or she was in the discussions of taking over the Australian League, which was a mother league to the WNBA. But I think she would be one of the perfect fits for them because she commands respect. She understands the business. She understands the needs of women. Yeah. She's strong. I think she would be the perfect fit for there, and I hope that she's able to throw her hat with the commissioner of Davis what's the man's name? I forgot his name.
Silver, Adam Silver. Stern. You almost said David Stern. Lord have mercy.
I'm dating myself.
You flashing back.
Yeah. She could go with Adam Silver, man. I think she would be one of the stronger voices and one of the best commissioners I think the league could have.
Okay.
With perspective of business, with a bigger perspective of business.
Yeah.
And understanding of sports. I think that's the thing that they're needing. Adam Silver's very great. He understands business. This is what Adam Silver's very strong at. He understands business. He understands the sports. And thirdly, he understands his players. Mm-hmm. He understands their needs because he's a very big advocate for what the players need. He always advocates for them.
Especially during like social impact types of things. So when we had all of the killings and things like that and the police incidents, Silver was behind his players and he let them be vocal when they needed to be vocal. So I agree with you 100%.
And I think Felicia would be ideal with her diversity background and being in companies like that. I think she'll be a person who will advocate for her staff, her team, the players, and listen to their voices and be that middle ground that can sit in that corporate room with all those owners. Because she dealt with Elon Musk, so she must have some tolerable.
So she must be able to tolerate business
and the macho thing and the thick skin. So she would be able to sit in those boardrooms, be able to discuss it and talk with those people on the business side and be able to relate to the players in a way they can digest it, where everything is even. And I know she would fight for the players. I think she would be a person to be advocating for the players to make sure they get their just due. So that would be the person I would recommend.
Man, I don't even know if I want to even say my little vote. I don't have the full, dissertation prepared like you do. You got it researched and everything. I was going to say Diana Taurasi.
No. And the reason why I think Diana Taurasi is I think she should be on Felicia's board. Don't get me wrong. But I think the only thing was that she will be too player centric.
Okay, couldn't separate.
I think she should have a hard time separating. I think she should be too player centric because she was in it, right? I'm a person that wasn't getting paid.
Yeah, and that's why I said her, right? Okay.
That's a great history to have, but if you're gonna say that, you can say Sue Bird as well. You know what I mean? Those two both been through the clinches and trenches with that. But I think they'll be too player centric, and then you have to go on the other side of the business side. Now, Diana Taurasi, as great as she is she going to go be able to sit with the international board and be able to have those conversations about the business side of WNBA if we want to go global? I think those are the because I think this is where it's going. WNBA is on the fast track to do what the NBA is doing now. They're on the fast track though.
Agreed.
They're not on the slow track no more. It's on the fast track to get the popularity, the shoes, and all those things. I think you need somebody that understands the memorabilia part because Felicia worked at Nike. What better company to work at there? She understands the business part to be able to sit down with the corporate boards. She worked with Elon Musk. What better person to be able to do that and work with the WNBA, the owners, and all that stuff? And what a better advocate to have for your people, for women and women of color and women in general, than somebody that was a diversity CEO for a company. Felicia, she checks all the bars, I think, or all the check marks to be, I think, someone that can move into that role and be very successful and not have relationships with all of them, because you can have an unbiased opinion now when you don't have those really close relationships. Your opinion's unbiased. You're going to look at it from what's right and what's wrong, especially in the beginning.
Man, I'm gonna go with your vote. Golly, okay. So yours was carefully thought out. I just went with the emotion and said, yeah, because I knew Diana Taurasi could throw them hands too if she needed to, right? If it got too contentious, so she could do that. All right, I like that. Felicia Mayo, ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna keep an eye on her, and we're gonna be voting for her.
We need to chop that up and send that out to the
definitely.
powers
Listen,
that be.
give me about an hour. Yeah, give me about an hour, and we're gonna be all over Felicia Mayo's timeline. Listen, Rich Vibes is in the building, so we international tonight. The man is coming from across the pond. Rich, I know I got something I need to send you. I'm looking at it right here. The mug is right there. I know you won the Focus mug, brother, on Matt Haas's show. It's literally right there. I haven't made the time to go to the UPS store.
Hey, man, keep your customer service stuff on the download. Come on, let's keep our show rolling.
You know what I'm saying? I'm over here, trying to do everything. Shirley P in the building. Appreciate you as well, sis, for being here and hanging out with us. All right, so there we go with that, right? Commissioner's probably going to get removed, kicked out the door. She's probably going to quit because of all of the hubbub about officiating and things like that, and the salaries. I think it's really interesting to see as well, because now that most of the teams are gone, obviously, we're seeing a lot of them joining and saying they're going to hook up with Unrivaled.
Well, I mean, the biggest fear is you don't want the lockout, right? Why you got this momentum, and the players are talking about walking out, being locking themselves out or not participating in the sport till they get these things resolved. That's the one thing you don't want at this particular time, right? You don't want to cancel the season or damage the season.
That's what I'm thinking, though, right? Because they announced a whole bunch of names, right when everyone started falling off, and some big names.
Yep. Well, but see, the part is they're at a point they have to play in that league to subsidize their income, right?
Yeah,
they have to. That's the part that needs to be resolved. They shouldn't have to do that to subsidize their income when they're bringing in that kind of money. When the TV revenues are bringing in that kind of money, it should be easily dispersed and well dispersed. Now, I'm a firm believer. Do they deserve to get paid as much as the men? Not yet.
Right.
Not quite yet, because they don't command as much as market share as the men. But are they going in that direction? It should be going in that direction. Or right now it's standstill. They're barely making, I would say, in their profession, minimum wage or even below minimum wage for their profession. What they're doing, they should get paid at the minimum for the league. I think should be like almost like the NFL, $250,000. That should be the league minimum across the board.
Yeah.
Everyone would be happy with that and go. And then you already know, like every other team, professional team, except maybe baseball and basketball, just like NFL, only a few players making $1 million. There's not a lot of people on the roster that's making all this money. It's only a couple. And then everybody else is making kind of what's relative to what they're supposed to make at their position. I think they need to develop a formula and a pay scale like that. Yeah. I think that's something they could agree on, and that as long as that pay scale can move. Like, hey, as we grow and we're growing, the pay scale will move. If we're growing,
or even after your rookie contract, right, 2-3 years later, boom, and then you go and get that nice payday.
Exactly. Yeah. It has to be some kind of structure where it's going to be favorable for all of them to be successful. Like, Juju, I hope she gets well person because she's going to be out for the season.
Yeah.
But I hope someone with her kind of star power, when she's healthy and she's 100% and she comes into the league, there's no way Juju should be making $60,000 a year. She's going to change the franchise just like Caitlin Clark did, right? She's going to be that dynamic coming in. Is that fair? Because she bring all that star power and all these different things like that. They got to figure something where that scale is going to be able to move and be sustainable. But I don't think those players should have to play in another league just to subsidize their income. They should get paid at, like I said, I think $225,000 your cap for your team, and that's including coaches in there. Instead of like $4 million, it should be up to something like $10 million. That way, that would suffice everybody and take care of everything. And now the owners can go ahead and the shareholders can split $40 million instead of splitting 46. You know what I mean? Instead of splitting 46 million. There's a lot of wiggle room to have an even playing ground.
Oh, there's ways to do it. Yeah, come on. I mean, this math isn't that hard. We draw it out, but this math, especially when you got folks that got them kind of zeros and commas in their checking accounts, this math ain't that hard. And this is the reason why Brittany Griner got caught up overseas, because she had to go over there to feed her family.
Yes,
this don't need to happen anymore.
Yeah, it doesn't need to happen anymore. WNBA is bigger than it's ever been, and it's just growing, right? And they need to leverage off their growing. They're growing it in also not only in high school, because people are attending now high school girls basketball games even more so, and they're attending colleges games, and the college basketball tournament for women is bigger than it's ever been. Yeah. So the sport is trending in the right direction, and I think it's very right on the player side. They're absolutely 100% right. Let's take advantage of the moment, because we have to if we want to get what we want and quit being taken advantage of. I agree with that 100%. But on the same end, owners and the powers that be need to be flexible and need to meet them on a common ground and be open to what they're saying. They should get some profit sharing. They should get these things going on. They should get in a situation where they have good health medical. These are your representative your leagues, and you got superstars. Caitlin Clark is a household name,
sir.
Whether you want to believe it or not.
she got her own basketball. She got her own Wilson basketball.
Angie Reese is a household name. The Las Vegas Aces are a household name when you come to women's basketball sports. Ask any little girl and they know about that plays basketball. They know about the Aces and their team and the players that are doing it. They should embrace this and take it. It's okay to split $30 million between 14, 15 franchises. You know what I mean? It comes out some pretty good chunk of change that you're doing when they're making the money in the face of the franchise. I just think they need to be able to come to a common ground. And from what I understand, at least some of the stuff I read about the commissioner, the current commissioner, she doesn't have a relationship with the players or the players union at all.
Yeah, she's not gonna make it. She ain't gonna make it.
No.
Right, she's not gonna make it.
She's not the right person. She's just not the right person for the job. I think she's probably very knowledgeable and understands everything. But she's just, sometimes you got to be in a position where you have relationships. Adam Silverman has a relationship with the players union and the players.
Yeah,
and that's why the NBA has been able to thrive.
Pretty much, right? He's got that relationship. He knows them, and positive and or negative. It was just, again, there was a lot of issues, social issues that happened, and it tested Adam Silver, right? Because he was like, "What you gonna do, LeBron? What you gonna do, everyone else? Are you just gonna go dribble, be an athlete, right? Like some politicians said." And commissioner said, "Listen, we're gonna do this. We're gonna do it the right way. We're gonna do it respectfully." Even Roger Goodell with the NFL, right, painting the end zones and putting the phrases on the helmet, right? At least they did something. At least they did something.
Don't give Roger Goodell. Don't give him a pre.
I ain't gonna give him too much of a pass. Now I'm only gonna give him.
He dropped the ball, but I think he took a page from Adam Silverman and let the players. Hey, it can work with them voicing their opinion. It can work them on that platform, especially when it's right. Whatever the cause is, if it's a right cause, it's great. NFL, the difference between them, NFL does more stuff for profit, right? The only reason why they do pink and they do the things, salute for everything, is because
they catch
Army and them pay them. Yeah, they cut them a check to do that stuff. NBA did that stuff because of the players really felt that way, felt strongly about issues. And Adam Silver was like, "You guys can go and do it as long as you do it in a tasteful manner. Don't kneel you don't have to kneel to the or bow down or don't stand up for the national anthem. But what you guys can do is wear shirts with phrases on it that says how you guys feel. You can do things like that. You can write stuff in your sneakers and say how you feel about it, and we're not going to fine you or be mad about it. We'll just go ahead and embrace it, and we'll control. We'll be in a position to control the narrative."
There you go. There it is. I tell it's coming through, ladies and gentlemen. Listen, come on now. You see Rich is telling y'all, hit the like button, because listen, anytime Montel, I'm just here pushing buttons and changing screens, man. We trying to have a dialogue. Hold that energy though about the NFL, because we gonna come back to that.
Okay.
That's the one that I told you that we gonna cause some uproar tonight, maybe. But again, back to the WNBA real quick. You see Nafeesha Collier with someone of her caliber is talking people are listening, and she's got more folks agreeing with her stance than not agreeing with her stance. I want to talk about other sports. I want to talk about respect for athletes. And I know this is something that you're big on, something that you may have an opinion on as well. Ryder Cup just happened in New York,
Mm-hmm.
right? U.S. versus the European team.
Mm-hmm.
All the superstars from both the U.S. and from Europe out there playing. The respect that was shown, fans are going too far. Fans are getting a little too rowdy, too rambunctious. Maybe it's alcohol and liquid courage or something. But when athletes are getting drinks thrown on them and their wives, when they're getting cursed out at a golf tournament. Now, maybe I can understand a rugby tournament. I can understand soccer. I can understand football. But when your boy Rory McIlroy, who won the thing, had a bottle or something, I think it was water or something, thrown and hit his wife in the head by some rambunctious fans at the event, and again, a golf event. Tell me your thoughts. Where are fans? Where should we be? Do we have the right and the privilege, because we paid to go see you do your thing? Do we have the right to talk to you any kind of way and throw water on you?
No, absolutely not. You don't have the right to assault anybody for any reason at a sporting event. There's no reason to assault anybody just because you're rambunctious, you're excited, you're happy, or you're upset. Doesn't give you the right to assault anybody and throw bottles of water at nobody and throw things at nobody. But see, this is trending. This is something that's been going on. Back to the sport we were just talking about, WNBA, when they were throwing all those toys out there on the
Yeah,
court
yeah,
and hitting people with the court, and you know there hasn't been a hard stance. I truly believe, me personally, you should be charged with a crime for doing that. And I don't say it shouldn't be a felony. I'm not going to say a felony unless it's a full out fight. But you should be charged a misdemeanor crime with at least a $500 to $1,000 fine. That'll stop people from doing those things. That'll stop you from throwing stuff on people. That'll stop you from doing those things. That'll stop you from assaulting people. Because right, this time it's a bottle of water. What about the next time it's a battery?
yeah. A battery. Think about. I didn't like him when he played. I always harken back to this John Rocker, who used to play in Philadelphia. Fans in Philadelphia, and fans in Philly, they don't play, right? But again, they were throwing batteries at old boy.
Yeah. I've had it happen before. When I played college ball, my buddy, they threw batteries at us. At a Division II football game, they was throwing batteries at us. So the fact of the matter that people, no, it's not. What if it's a battery? What if it's a battery hitter in the face?
Mm-hmm.
Then what?
Or what if, again, golf? Typically, you would expect, you got kids there too. You got your family, and Rory McIlroy being a champion, he's got his kids there. What if that bottle or glass or battery or whatever had hit his child? Man,
Hit his
did
child,
it?
but it shouldn't be hitting anybody. Like, what? What are we so upset about? What are you so excited about that put you in that state of mind where you feel you need to throw something and possibly hit somebody? Not saying you meant to hit somebody, just you threw it in the direction where it could possibly hit somebody.
Mm-hmm.
Why would you do that? And you're at a golf tournament when they're about to swing, everybody goes
Yeah,
shh.
everybody quiet,
Everybody calm
shushing
down,
people.
let him do his thing. But you want to be loud and do all these things, and I do. I think you're right. I think alcohol plays a big part of it. Sometimes it'll be sad if they have to ban alcohol from those
Yeah,
events because
from
those make a
grown
lot of money.
folks, right? I mean, you
Yeah,
can't even have a drink now. We got to ban you now. You can't even have a beer or something.
we got to. I mean, baseballs did it right. Baseball at a certain time we're not serving no more alcohol because they saw what happened. It's a shame they have to do that now coming to golf tournaments. But I seriously believe it should be a criminal crime, a
Yeah,
sports misdemeanor, but the fine should be heavily, so you know that you ain't gonna do it again. So if you're gonna throw this on the court, or throw this at a player, or throw this at other fans, now popcorn, you can't. I mean, you got to pick it because people are gonna try to take advantage of it, right?
yeah,
Oh, he
yeah.
assaulted me. He just spilled some popcorn. But I mean, if somebody's deliberately throwing something at somebody or throwing somebody at an athlete and it hits them or it assaults them or it disrupts the game, you're gonna be charged with a misdemeanor, and that misdemeanor fine is gonna be a minimum of $500. You won't do. I bet you won't do it again.
I bet you won't do it again. I bet you won't
Yeah,
do it again. Listen, folks, what
yeah.
y'all think about this? So the language used by American fans towards the European players at the match became a flashpoint during last week's tournament, which Europe won 15-13. but players were subject to verbal abuse and personal insults while on the course.
See,
While
the verbal part, I think you got to be a little bit thick-skinned as a professional, right? I think people can talk trash. If they're paying $1,500 to $2,000 to sometimes in New York $20,000 to sit on the
yeah,
front
yeah,
row of a basketball game, I think they should be able to talk trash to the players because they're trying to get them out of the game for them to lose or whatever. I think players need to be more thick-skinned in there. Long as it's not racial or really insulting, like
yeah,
if you're not going below the belt, you ain't talking about their kids or
yeah, yeah.
the kids got an ailment or maybe their spouse is going through something. You talking about you wish
And
she
it's
died.
funny you mentioned that because remember someone did that. I think it
Yeah,
was last year. Talked about somebody's
yeah,
kid and the kid was sick. Yep.
yeah. So I think it's got to be something, and when it gets to that point, you just kick them out of the game like they normally do. But I do believe they can talk trash. And I think Europe needs to be a little more thick-skinned like America. They're talking trash to you. You guys kind of got to block it out. As long as they're not doing it at the time they're supposed to be quiet when they're swinging the stick. They should be fine. Or swinging the club. I'm sorry. I just think they just trash talking is okay. I don't see no problem with that. I think that's part of the sport and that's part of the experience. As long as you don't take it too far.
Yeah. Okay. So let's put the caveat here. I'm gonna keep going down this because Rich is to have a point. Yes, the crowd, but what if it's your competitors that you're playing against? So the U.S. team was heckling and saying a couple of things, right? Verbal jabs
What?
back and
So
forth.
man, you know how many times I've been called out of my name playing football? You know how many
I
times
was
I've been
so
called out of my name playing basketball on the basketball court by the other
I was
team?
gonna say, Rich, appreciate you, man, and that makes sense. But
Yeah, yeah,
anytime you've been on the court, anytime you've been on the
yeah.
basketball court,
You
these
know,
NBA games, man,
yeah,
you don't want to sit too close and hear some things because they talk real
yeah.
bad.
I mean that in the college world, they talking trash. I mean, you talking trash the whole time because just look up Gary Payton. That's all you gotta do.
Oh
Look up
my
Gary
God,
Payton.
Gary Payton, talk about your mom, talk
Yeah,
about your mom's mom, and
yeah,
oh
yeah.
yeah,
So I think talking is not a problem when you're playing certain sports or from your opponent because I think you expect that. And if you don't like Gary Payton, look at Larry Bird. They already say he was the biggest
Larry
trash talker
Bird.
ever in basketball. So it ain't a color thing. It's not a color thing,
Yeah,
everybody.
no,
It's a sport thing. You get out there, people gonna talk trash. I think I would have even expected more from my opponent, and I expected from my rivalry crowd that they're gonna say
yeah,
stuff to me and talk trash. It's part of the game. Long as it's in good taste, right? Long as it's in good taste, it's all right. If you calling me a chump and calling me is and your mama sucks and all that, okay,
you
that's
soft, you
we
can't
ain't,
play, you can.
yeah, we ain't that's fine.
All right,
But
it's all right. Give me
they
a
know when
minute.
they don't. They know not to cross the line. You don't cross the line. You don't call nobody anything out of the race, or you don't talk about the religion. You don't talk about the kids. You just
Hmm.
keep it in. It's trash talking within the game, and it's okay.
Yeah. Hockey fans get pretty raunchy and rowdy, as Shirley is saying. Rich is chiming in. Sorry, I disagree, Montel. Fair enough in other sports, but golf is a gentleman's sport. So it's an etiquette thing because it's less expected in golf. But Shirley's talking about hockey. We talking about basketball and football and a little bit in baseball. But
Oh, but it's an etiquette sport for the past and the future. The new generation are young.
okay,
They're brought up on talking trash. They're brought up in an environment where everybody talks trash. So the etiquette part has changed. Where we say it's a gentleman's sport, it's gentleman's sports for our era. We wouldn't say anything in that. I don't think it's so much a gentleman's sport for this era. Remember, they're the Happy Gilmores. They grew up on Happy Gilmore. You know what I'm saying?
y'all
Talk
look that up if
trash.
y'all don't know. Y'all look up that.
But you know what I mean? I
Yeah.
think times have changed the way we perceive things. Things. Remember, in tennis, they used to not talk trash. That one girl was talking trash while the tennis talk was
Yeah.
going,
Yeah.
calling her all kind of names and stuff while the match was going.
Yeah.
So I think etiquette is by how you perceive it now, and I think this new generation's etiquette is completely different than the way we perceive etiquette is supposed to be. Where we're supposed to be quiet, it's supposed to be a gentleman's sport. We're supposed to respect all those boundaries, but I think the boundaries now that boundary line where it used to be straight is now wavy. It's wavy.
Mm.
Some people cross it, some people don't. Some people talk trash when you think it's not appropriate, and some people won't. It's just a wavy line now to cross that etiquette, or what we say is sports etiquette in every sport. I don't think it's just that; it's in every sport. Bowling, the
We
dude
got
that was the
trained
best
to you.
bowler. Remember the dude that was a bowler? He used to talk all the trash and do all the
Hey,
things that what he do. And bowling, you're
yeah,
supposed to be quiet. You ain't even supposed to
yeah.
bowl
Oh
like
boy,
that.
turned into a meme and it's still going around. Who do you think you are?
Yeah,
I am.
Yeah. So I think the perception of etiquette or what we think is sports etiquette has changed. And I believe he's right. It's supposed to be a professional sport, it's supposed to have a sports etiquette, but it's a little bit different now with this next generation.
I don't know. Rich, I don't know, man. We don't know. We're gonna try to figure it out. We're trying to help folks. We're trying to help the youth, right? We're just trying to bring some clarity to this, but yeah. It one too many Michelob Lights, or what do y'all drink over there in the UK, brother? He's over there. Y'all probably drinking. Is it Heineken? I don't know. I'm sorry.
A couple of shots, man. A couple of scotch, whatever
Couple
they
of,
take.
some scotches, some Jameson.
Man, some scotch, man. Get
God,
out there, man. Swing them sticks, man, and have a good time and with your friends. But I think when it gets to be competitive, I'm sure you shoot a shot and your friend probably, hey mate, that was horrible, or you suck, or something like that. You know what I mean? I think the part where it used to be fun to jab with your friends and kind of crossing the line with your friends has crossed over to kind of the amateur part, and it's now crossing a little bit into the pros.
Yeah,
I think it's just jawing. It's just jawing.
I hear you, Zach. Damn. We'll figure it out. We will. I mean, I think this is something that can be figured out. It's just we just either learn to accept it, learn to agree with it, figure it out, or whatever the case may be. Because we are allowing this BS, right? But again, we need to keep doing this, speaking up about.
But is it BS though? I mean, if me and you playing around the golf.
Yeah.
We playing around the golf.
I'm gonna talk madness about you. I'm gonna talk madness.
Exactly. If I'm doing good or bad, you're gonna be talking trash, right? Especially we in Vegas, we on the hills, we shooting golf, we shooting 18 holes, and if I'm doing good, you're gonna, and I'm gonna say something back when, you didn't see that coming. You know what I'm saying? I think.
But that's all in good fun, right? That's still being respectful.
What's different in the Ryder's Cup? I think if Americans were drawing with the Europeans, how far did they go to where it became unprofessional?
At the point where something was thrown on someone's wife.
Yeah.
So I'm separating the two, the jawing back and forth and the verbal stuff. Yeah. I mean, that's part of sports. That's part of the whole experience. Yeah, we gonna talk trash. We gonna do all that. But when you start throwing stuff to someone
that's something, like I said, they should be fine. The crowd doing that, that should be something that's off limits, and that should be dealt with in a legal manner, I believe. Yeah, in my opinion.
There we go. All right, there we go. See, Rich over here drinking Scotch, single barrel, Gentleman Jack. My dad he's probably perking up on that. That's one of his drinks. I love it. I love it. Let's move on. I wanted to tell me how you feel about this, the Cody Campbell thing that you brought up, that you sent me a message about, and this is giving Montel some flowers, because I wish you would just tell us what the lotto numbers are, because I think you know them. I think you know all 6 numbers.
If I know about having, bro.
No, I think you know them. You just being stingy over there is what you're doing. And Cody Campbell, ladies and gentlemen, if y'all don't know, billionaire, in the tech world, bought a lot of companies, sold a lot of companies, made a lot of money. He is a supporter of 47. I'll just leave it at that. But Cody Campbell has a plan for fixing the NCAA. Cody Campbell says, "Listen, let's just get rid of the NCAA. let's go ahead and make it a quote unquote federally chartered agency to govern college sports." And Mr. Campbell says this will help with everything from the transfer portal. This will help with everything with rules and negotiations and NIL and all that. Let's just take it away from y'all NCAA people, commissioners and everything, and let's put it underneath the government umbrella.
Under the private government umbrella, not like the government state. Yeah. Under the private sector.
I don't even know where to go with this because we've talked about this. You brought up the idea that the NCAA.
He got receipts, man. He been watching Team No Sleep. That's what I'm telling you. Cody been watching Team No Sleep, man. We said this. I said it 2 years ago.
Do it, brother. Do your thing. There it is. I brought this story up just specifically for you because you said that a sledgehammer needs to go in there and actually blow the entire thing up. And here you got someone.
I mean, I've always talked about. I said the Power 5 at the time, or the Power 4, will divest from the NCAA because they do not need them.
Mm-hmm.
They don't need them. Every team that's in a bowl is in the Power Four. So they control all the bowl games. Every TV contract is with the Power Four. Major contract is with the Power Four teams. So they don't need TV contracts. So tell me possibly, if they don't need the bowl games, they don't need the TV contracts, they don't need any of those things, why are we under the NCAA umbrella? We don't need you to govern us. We don't need you to put rules in place for us. We can do our own. Because we already own everything that goes along with it. And I think this guy sees the vision as well. Why are we following under the NCAA rules when we don't have to, when we control all the money, or at least 75% of the money that goes in the NCAA? With fanfare, bowl games, attendance, and so on and so on. Why do we need to be a part of that? And I told you the only reason why they haven't divested as of right now, they haven't figured out a way to capitalize off the March Madness tournaments with the men's and women's and the baseball World Series and softball World Series.
Yeah.
Because you can't do it with those teams. It has to be 64 or whatever. There's not enough in all those conferences to make up all that up. Or you would have the bottom feeders also being able to complete in the playoffs, which is not fair. I guess they don't feel in their eyes. So this guy's trying to come up with a plan or an idea to say, hey, we can boss our way out. Again, if the NCAA is smart, and I hope they listen to Team No Sleep as well, if they're smart, they will put a governance around what's going on right now. And what I mean by that, the NIL, it should be a cap, a salary cap they can only spend. Period. Mm-hmm. It shouldn't go above the cap. It should be like, this is the cap. This is how much you guys can get, how much you can spend. That way, players don't get this enormous amount of money and think they're bigger than law. Bigger than the school and all that stuff. Put a cap on it. Number 2, cap the transfers. So instead of everybody running free, every team should only be allowed to get 10 transfers a year. Period. Even the playing field. That way, a school like Deion doesn't bring in 30. You can't bring in 30. You got to deal with what you got or whatnot. You can only get 10. That's number 2. Number 3, if a player wants to transfer out and he is being paid by the school and paying by NIL, you're going to have to pay an exit fee. Period. Pay an exit fee to transfer on out. You can go, but you're going to pay an exit fee. So we paid you $100,000. Guess what? You're going to have to pay at least 20% of that back. So you're going to have to give us $20,000 to exit out of our team. Perfectly fine. I think that would be great. Number 4 out of the whole thing. If you're a person that's getting NIL and you're doing this stuff and you leave school and you do not graduate, I believe you forfeit your money.
Give me the money back.
Not give it all back. You'll get a percentage of it, but I don't think, and I should say number 5, but hold this whole thing. I don't think they should give them the whole entire amount up front. So if I'm going to give this kid $1 million, he's not going to get up front. He's going to get it in portions. So let's say I give him $250,000 a year. He wants to leave to the NFL his third year, his junior year. Yeah. Well, guess what? We'll be paying him $50,000 a year when that $200,000 goes in a trust fund that helps him out. That we know we're going to pay him out at the end when he's done with his college career upon graduation. Not just done playing football, but on graduation of our school because we're still an institution. Yeah. Upon graduation, he'll get paid the rest of the money that remains. If not, he'll get that portion of that. And if he decides to leave, guess what? He'll forfeit the money that's in the escrow account or that funding account, and he'll have to pay at least 20% of what we paid out back to the school in order to leave. That'll stop them guys from transferring everywhere they want to just because they're happy and leaving. And it'll put some governance around it. You get 10, so that's more than enough transfers for anybody to roll with, or 10 or 15. And now it makes everybody even. That means the teams that are not in the Power 16 can actually compete now. They don't have to go get 30 guys transferring, and it'll bring back some validity back to high school recruiting. Because now all these teams don't have to develop now. They'll have to actively recruit high school kids like they were doing before instead of just living in the portal. Those are the 5 steps I think they need to go ahead and do. If NCAA can set up a structure like that, then there's no need for them to go ahead and venture on out because now the playing field is even. Now all power schools won't be in all those bowl games. A school like Central Michigan has the ability to get in. A team like San Diego State have the ability to get in. Major bowls, you know what I'm saying, and compete and get into the playoffs if they have a great year and they develop their players. It can fix itself. This NCAA got to have the balls to go do it.
They don't. And no, it's gotten much of a tangled web to weave as well. And if the government if the government does get involved and get behind it, what happens? Like something. Sports is different than everything else. But here's where I'm going to. Because
if it's a private entity governing them, fine, because they can make up their own rules, right? If state governments and federal government can't get involved in the sports now, so that means they control the sports and control what goes where and who goes what. Last I had, we have a country to run. As much as I love sports and I love football and other
That's where I
sports,
was going. Sports ain't that important compared.
humanity, and the things we got going on with homelessness and our division in our country and all the diversity issues we have and police issues we have, that's way more important than what we got going on here. Our economy is way more important. You know, getting in control of these tariffs are way more important than we got trying to control NCAA sports. Now, the part that comes into play with that, and if they do that, the part that's going to be the cap is the gambling part.
Mm.
Does that mean federal government now is going to approve gambling? They're going to be a part of the old gambling room because FanDuel and all them do it right now, all day, every day.
All day, every day. I could see that happening. I could literally see this administration putting their hands and their fingers in that whole aspect, to be honest with you.
So, but I don't think they can get that off the ground before his term is up. I don't think they can be able to get that off the ground because the buy-in is going to be, it's got to be long, hard, and I don't know how they're going to be able to do it because everybody's not going to agree with it, right? And then doing something like that, remember, California liberals are definitely different than Texas conservatives.
Yeah.
So they're not going to agree on whatever the deal is going to be. I mean, money goes a long way, but as you can see, even to schools like Harvard are declining things that they're doing because the money's not everything. They want to have a certain way they want to run their institution and those things. So I think it's going to be very hard if they say the state and federal government gets involved. But if they have a private entity or private company that forms a governing body to oversee the Power Four, I can see that. I still think right now, if it stays the way it is, they're going to divest. It just doesn't make any sense for them to be there. It really doesn't. From a business standpoint.
The conferences are all in shambles, and the money is a weird situation. UNC, what did Belichick get? 70-some people coming into the program.
Yeah, he got like 77. So again, if you cap it off the transfer portal to a certain number where they can only get so many people, that means instead of him getting 77 or whatever, so let's say 70 just to make the numbers right. He got 70 players. If he can only get 10, that's right there. That's 60 other players that are really good players that were in the portal because they could go to other schools and play and have
and play.
And make those teams better. Make those teams better. That means now if he can only get 10 there, guess what that forces him to do? Develop the current players that are there and go get high school players that can develop and keep the cycle of the institution still going. Right? It's not a football factory that no more. It goes back to being a school. You go back to being a student athlete.
A student athlete.
Yeah.
There's more pros and cons of this. They're really. I mean, even though the folks that are involved with it, I don't completely agree. But keep going with what you're saying. I think there's still more pros than cons to this.
I just believe, man, those people are I know those people aren't dumb, right? Those people are very, very smart.
Right.
I don't believe to be the brightest person in the room ever, but I mean, common sense is common, bro. Those are common sense things they should be able to think of to be able to implement and go with to make things even, to make your product that much better. It makes your product, if everybody's good and it's competitive, guess what? It's the Western Conference of the NBA. You got to win 50 games to get an 8th spot. You know what I'm saying? If all the college football is good, shit. You got to be. Everybody gonna have to win 10 games just to get into the play. You know what I'm saying? So it makes it very, very good, and it makes it very even scale. The San Jose States of the world cannot compete because all the transfers aren't going to USC and UCLA because they have all the money. Now some are going to trickle down to us because they want to play Division I football and compete. I think it makes it a lot better and a lot more even for those schools to play and participate in, and it gives a lot of different kind of synergy. Right? Because everybody knows they have a chance to be even and compete for that national championship now. Georgia won't be able to win it every year. They won't because they won't be able to get 30 transfers in. They're only going to get 10. So you got to select the top 10. After that, the next top 10 are going to Alabama. Then the next top 10 is going to Vanderbilt and Tennessee. You know what I'm saying? So everybody starts to become even. And now the games will become more competitive. And that makes betting even better because everybody's in it. You don't know who's going to win week to week. It's a win-win all the way across the board for all the people that have their hand in the pie. But yet, NCAA doesn't have the balls to interject and say we want to implement these rules.
So maybe Cody Campbell is the right person, right?
I don't know if he's the right person. I don't think he's the right person because I think he sees it a different way. I think he sees it in a manner that I can control. I can control, or the people I got can control this. I don't think it needs to be so much of a control thing. I just there needs to be set rules. Because if you try to control, if you're going to control that, it's going to be played their way or no way at all. And I think it'll turn into a semi-pro professional league in the Power Four from the ideology that I think that he has. Because
Mm-hmm.
he's looking at it from a capitalistic view. I'm looking at it making an even playing field across the board view.
Yeah,
Make
well,
everybody be able to be
he's
competitive.
definitely got that shift in his mindset where he can make some more money off it, right? He's a billionaire.
Yes.
That's just how he's wired. So he's
Yeah.
definitely got that mindset. And look at Chris Stone here talking about Michigan always going to win. Just, listen, I'm a Michigan fan too. I was born there. And listen, we know they're going to always be near the top. But
not this year. They're not.
don't say, see, there you
they're
go.
not going to beat Ohio State this year. I don't care.
Show is over, y'all. Show we over for the week.
Yeah.
I didn't even have nothing to say. I just got quiet too.
No, they're not going to beat Ohio State this year. Yeah, I don't think they're going to beat Ohio State this year, so it's going to be tough.
Yeah, I agree with you. But I wanted to bring that up because again, that's right in your wheelhouse, and again, the conversation is now bubbling up even more because now it's at that level. It's that someone with a billionaire at the back of his name, and he's hanging out at 1600 Pennsylvania and pulling that person's ear. So something's going to happen.
I mean, I thought they were bringing Nick Saban in to create a cabinet to control NIL, right? It was to control the NIL. It didn't have anything to do with the transfers and all that stuff. It was to control the NIL because it's being, way outlandish. But I mean, I think that's dismantled because they're talking about Nick Saban might be coming back to coaching. He might even coach Arkansas or take over Virginia Tech. So with that being said, you can't be in the cabinet and be, you can't have both feet in. So that'll be something different.
He's not Tom Brady. He can't be an analyst and an owner.
So I truly believe, man, I think if NCAA would just say, you know what? It's the buck stops right there. Here's the rules and here's the parameters, and everybody's gonna go by it. I think just like we said, if Gavin Newsom, if someone had the balls to stand up to Trump and just say something, the Democratic Party would appreciate it. If somebody in NCAA has the balls to stand up and say something, people would appreciate say, okay, these are the rules that are going to be implemented. And everybody's not going to be getting these $50 million deals. You're going to get, this is the cap. This is the money they can spend on you. This is how they can allow it whichever way they want to. This is how many transfers you can get so everybody has an even playing field. And now we're going to go ahead and rock and roll and see who the best coaches and the best teams and who can develop players the best. And that's going to re-energize junior college recruiting as well as high school recruiting because now people have to develop. They got to pick the right players to develop.
Yeah. Well, this is real sticky. So it's not like it's gonna happen 26. Not like it's gonna happen 27. This is gonna be a minute before.
If you get enough billionaires behind them to do it, it might happen sooner than that. I don't know. When they got them kind of zeros behind their name, man.
Cody Campbell, Elon Musk, Richard Branson, some of them cats get together. Next thing you know,
yeah, man. If they say, "Hey, we really want to control college football. We want to take over that." I can see it, but I don't think that will work because I just don't. I think they're in it for the capitalistic reason and not for the reason of making it, a competitive field across the board and making everybody better. I don't think that's.
There you go. All right, there you go, brother. Hey, Rich, if you still here again, I know you said it's 3:00 in the morning there for you, but I just wanted to. Did you see it? Here it is, brother. It's here in my hand. Never
You're
been
customer service, man. Come on.
I'm customer service because I'm talking about it. But so it's right here. It's gonna go into a box as soon as I get another box in the house, and I know my wife's probably gonna have an Amazon box showing up sooner than later. So I know there's gonna be something, and there you go, brother. All right, we'll move on from that. Appreciate y'all. I see folks jumping in from all different types of channels and platforms that we streaming on. This is what we're doing. Team No Sleep. We're gonna be on the Team No Sleep specific channel. We may be on Facebook on the brand page. I have that weird relationship with Facebook and Meta. So sometimes yes, sometimes no. But we'll always be on Twitter. That's kind of where I started. So I got none but love for Twitter. So we will always be there. So appreciate y'all there. All right, here's the last story that I want to talk about. Well, last story, and then we'll do the culture story for the week. We're going to be in Santa Clara this January. When's it? January, February? When's the game? When's the Super Bowl?
I think the second week of the first.
I guess we should figure that out, huh? Since we're gonna be in the building.
First week of February.
Halftime show was announced.
Yeah.
Bad Bunny, y'all know him. If the kids know who he is, If you listen to the modern pop, modern dance music, Bad Bunny, big artist. Puerto Rico. Puerto Rico's part of the United States. I say that tongue in cheek and facetiously because 47 made a statement today that he don't know where Puerto Rico is. Man, they acting a fool right now because Bad Bunny has. So Taylor Swift turned it down. Taylor Swift apparently, and here's the behind the scenes. Apparently, she was offered it, but the fact that she wasn't able to own the rights to the production, she turned it down. Taylor Swift, a billionaire herself, money, right? She owned her masters. Bad Bunny said, I'll do it. Bad Bunny, 90% of his songs are not in English. Man, they tripping right now. There's some folks that's tripping that this dude is going to be on the center stage at halftime in California at the Super Bowl. And it's not just going to be Bad Bunny here. Y'all can't see it at the bottom here, but ICE confirms a promise of agents at the Super Bowl. So Bad Bunny has already said before that he's not real comfortable doing a whole lot of shows anymore in the United States because of his audience is a lot of immigrants, maybe some folks that have their papers, maybe some folks that don't have their papers, but again, folks that just don't want to get caught up in that conversation. Here it is right here. ICE confirms the promise of agents at the Super Bowl. Where we at, man? Where we at? It's two stories, right? One, not everyone. There's some folks that's really tripping that this guy is performing. I like some of his songs, so I can't sing them all because I'm not as fluent in Spanish. But the fact that ICE is going to be there and posted up, just waiting for folks to walk out the door.
I also read that there was an upset because he has a big fanfare of people that are part of the LGBTQ community plus community and transgender. So he has a lot. They're big fans of his music, and that's another controversy that's going on. I think I don't know how this is going to play out.
It's not going to be good.
I think if it goes, the further it goes, I think he's going to end up dropping out. I really do. I think because it's going to be too hard, like you said. A great deal of his fans are Latin descent. They come from across the border, whether they're legal or illegal, and the fact that their freedom or their livelihood can be taken away by just attending his show or being in the presence of the Super Bowl weekend, right? Because the Super Bowl's 2 weeks is it's an event for the 2 weeks. So people come, they don't even go to the game, they come to the event because so much is going on. The fact that ICE will be planted there, basically looking to arrest people, they can't enjoy it. No one can enjoy it. Which they forget that those people still contribute dollars to that community and that economy while they're there. They're spending money on alcohol and drinks and food. That's okay. But yet they can't enjoy a show because somebody's singing because you want to because they may be illegal or illegal, which you don't even know yet. Because we know ISIS, the tourists are taking around people that still are American citizens. They just don't want to hear what they got to say, or they don't want to take their information. So with that being said, man, I don't see him going through with it. Me personally, I don't see him going through with the show. I wouldn't. If it puts any of my fans in danger, why would I do it?
Yeah. He's already said that again. He doesn't do many shows in the United States because in the United States proper. Again, he's from Puerto Rico. Puerto Rico is part of
province of the United States. So
it's part of this whole thing, right? They contribute to the vote. Yeah,
but
47. Do your homework.
Him and you already know that he doesn't like California, right? The Super Bowl is going to be in California, one of the big events there. It's going to be in one of the most liberal places in the United States, right? The Bay Area. And the Bay Area is very, very heavily diverse.
Yes.
Probably equal to New York, right? Just as diverse as New York is, the Bay Area is that diverse. And to bring all these people there to see this person who's they're fans of, they can't even enjoy the experience with the fear of them possibly being deported. And I'm not just talking about illegals. I'm talking about legal people. Trust me, read on the internet. There's a bunch of stories of people that are very legal getting arrested by ICE. They have papers. They've been born here. ICE don't care if you look the part, they arrest them. So with that being said, I think
that's crazy even for you to say, but it's true.
I just think this is a situation where if it's going to hurt my fans and my fans have the feeling of being hurt or being injured or getting them in that situation. Me personally, if I was an artist and if I was management, I would tell them, let's not do it. We can't do it until this other stuff goes away. And I think he will. I think eventually he will succumb to that pressure because there's going to be a lot of pressure on just the crowd he's going to draw, his fanfare, his music, right? People aren't fans of his music because it's what reggaeton, a lot of reggaeton music and a lot of Spanish influenced music, and the fanfare that attracts. Man, I just think that I don't know why Jay-Z and the committee went after him with today's climate. So that kind of throws me off as well. Like, why would he go after?
Who else was on the list, right? Because we knew Taylor was. We knew she was on the list.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
who else was on
because
that
Taylor's
list?
bringing so much popularity. Yeah, but you mean to tell me there's nobody on this list? I mean, there was no country singer that could be on the list that the people would buy into. There's no other pop star that people. You can't bring the reunion of NSYNC and all them on this. I mean, anything.
We just said the Backstreet Boys, bring them.
Yeah.
Or even like Chris is saying, right? Do a Bay Area music artist ensemble since it's right there in Santa Clara. Bring a little E40.
Well, I mean, it doesn't even necessarily have to be hip hop. I think you're just going to bring somebody that. We're in a climate today, man, where there's so much division, right?
Yeah.
Social economic division, political belief division, skin color division. I mean, we have a lot of things that are dividing us as the United States, and with the country being ran with someone that's so conservative and right wing, you're going to bring someone that attracts a lot of people that are minorities that he's targeting, that he is really actually after doing that. Why would you put that person in the forefront of the biggest 15 minutes on TV every year? You know what I mean? So it's kind of like why would I mean? Don't get me wrong. He's well deserved of getting it, but he gets that in Miami when the Super Bowl's in Miami. I think you don't get that when it's in California when this person really hates Californians and he's doing everything to threaten to even have U.S. troops be in California. So why would you put that situation in this? Why would you put Bad Bunny and his fans in that kind of situation? Why would Jay-Z and that committee select him? Even though he's deserving of it, but you got to also understand the surrounding issues that are going on.
Yeah, I think about exactly why when you said that, and I don't know why I didn't think of this earlier, but now you're gonna get distractors coming in. So not just folks wanting to come to the game. You're gonna get folks that want to come and act a fool before, during, and after. Because I mean, man, if he performs, if that happens, so.
Bro, we're so divided right now. I mean, we've been divided on religious beliefs. I mean, I don't want to bring this up, but Mr. Kurt, I wasn't a fan of his. I don't follow him, but I don't wish that on anybody.
Yeah,
we're in those situations where those situations are real now.
Right.
People will try to harm you and even murder you because you simply have a different philosophy than them. So we're in that situation. So not saying Bad Bunny will be threatened, but I'm saying, like you said, agitators and people that want to disrupt this event, I have no doubt that they won't be there because they don't agree with what the songs he's going to sing or who the person is performing or what's going on. And like I said, we're in a liberal state. California's so liberal, we don't really question people that their motives until after the fact, right? Because we try to accept everybody on who they are, especially when they're in such a diverse place as the Bay Area, where we know Filipinos, Indians, Chinese, Japanese, Black, Mexican, they're all in the same pocket. They all mixed together. Everybody's there. And everybody's acceptance of everybody because that's what they live in that climate. So it's really hard to cast out.
Should we go?
Oh yeah,
we'll talk about this offline. But man, should we change our plan?
I don't think that runs me away, but I just believe. I mean, you got to be aware of your surroundings, man. We have to be. Yeah. Nowadays, you just have to be very diligent in what's going on. And me, I think differently. I do think differently when it comes to social things.
You wish somebody would. So I'm not worried about us. I know I got your 6, and I know you got my 3. So we gonna be okay. No.
Yeah, I just think I don't think he performs. I really don't. I really think he's gonna end up. The pressure is gonna get to him. He's gonna have to pull out, and then it'll be interesting to see who they decide to go with next. And me personally, in today's climate, I would have reached out who's the number 1 country singer, who's the number 1, The fusion of now country music and hip hop is really big now. So I would kind of brought somebody maybe in that realm.
Yeah.
To kind of combine both genres.
Or something. Yeah, that brother that's out there doing, or like Chris is saying, get Carlos Santana, get Metallica.
Yeah, somebody's from the Bay Area. He's from the Bay Area, right?
Yeah.
Carlos
Yeah,
Santana and Sheila E.
everybody loves
Those people
Carlos.
like that to be able to do those types of things, to be able to bring that same crowd and be able to do it and kind of do a collab. That would have been great. I just think, and Bad Bunny, I mean, I don't really listen to his music, but I know who he is. I've been, he's a pop guy. I got kids that listen to some of his songs. I just think this is going to be difficult
Yeah.
to pull off.
And he's a fan oriented guy, because I saw him do a interview after winning an award. I don't know if it was a Grammy or whatever, but he really focused on all of his different fans. You mentioned about the LGBTQ community. So I remember, again, it was either AMA award or it was a Grammy, and he called folks out specifically, and he got real emotional about it when he was talking.
Yeah.
There's a possibility that yeah, he may pull out and decide not to even do this, just out of safety for
Yeah, just
his
have
folks.
safety for his fans, man, because and depending on what team comes, you got to think. What if you get a team that's in a really, really red state that's just going to the Super Bowl?
Ooh, what
That
if
means
them
their fans are
Houston
going to be coming there.
Texans? Well, they not
That
going.
means they're not going to agree with the lifestyle and the way that things going in the Bay Area. So it's going to be crazy, especially if you get two red teams that's playing in the Super Bowl where all their fans come.
Boy.
So now you got a climate of fans that are coming to a foreign, I wouldn't say a foreign place, but a different place in the United States where the belief and ideology is completely different. The acceptance of different things is completely different. And we already know mix that differences with alcohol is a bad cocktail for everybody.
Hey, we talking about just talking madness at a golf tournament at when you get a whole bunch of dissension at a football game, at the game of the century, or
Yeah.
of the year. Yeah, man, you're right.
Yeah, it could be a bad cocktail, man. And then you got those people that are from coverage sets. Then you got a Latino and LGBTQ based performer performing at the Super Bowl. Man, it's just gonna be like we
Oh
can't
my
even.
God,
Not only can't enjoy the game because where we at and what's going on around, we can't
because we're gonna
enjoy
be
the
worried.
halftime. They don't want to like they don't want to like the halftime show just because of that's who the person is instead of enjoying the music. It's just, man, it could be. It's just gonna be. I really wonder why the Super Bowl committee chose him. For real, I mean, I'm really like, what was your thought process on choosing him, and why would you think he would go through with this? Because of our current climate and the dangers that happen, and the fact of bringing all these different people together could be a major problem. And I'm talking about different types of people. Not saying
Yeah,
they won't be accepted in California, but it will not be accepted by agitators or people from outside, and definitely not accepted by our president of the United States. So why would you
yeah.
do something like that?
Even though Jay-Z's on that committee, I don't know what they're thinking, because I think that uh, Wheezy should have performed at the one in New Orleans and had the whole Cash Money. And I like what Chris Stone is saying about the Bay Area. Boom, bring out Metallica and Santana and
Yeah,
Sheila
man, you
E,
can.
little E40, little Too Short. Just don't let them say couple. Listen, that would be nice.
But they could have put the show together really nice and says
Yeah.
this is going to be pay tribute to the Bay Area,
Yes.
and put something together like that, and avoiding all this, right? Because everybody say, "Oh, cool, that'll be perfect." And if you're not going to go go with somebody that's a famous country star. Go with somebody that's a famous pop. Matter of fact, at this point, go with K-pop. I can care less what you do,
Yeah.
but you
Bring
can't
the,
bring
what you call
someone.
it, B2K. No,
Yeah,
that was the old
no, it's
brothers. What was
K-pop or
it?
whatever. I know you're
I
talking
don't.
about,
Yeah.
but I'm saying Bad Bunny's a great artist, but his fan base is conflicting with what the president wants to do with ICE and all that other stuff. It's
Yes, sir.
conflicting. So it's a clash, and that's unfortunate. That's supposed to be an event of celebration, but I think it can turn into an event of a lot of bad things at that particular point.
And we'll see. All right. No one else talking about it. We bring it up. Everyone's just saying Bad Bunny, and everybody's saying, "Oh, he getting pressure." But I don't think anyone else has actually come up with the ultimatum that this may not work out. But
Mm-hmm.
I'll be at the gym tonight, and I'll be listening to ESPN, and I can guarantee you somebody will say something. Oh, like they came up with it. Like, nah, bruh. Ain't no sleep came up with that. E40 sprinkled me at the Super Bowl. Come on, Chris Stone. Sprinkle me. Boy, okay. All right, let's do this, man. Let's be cognizant of time. I want to bring up this one last story,
What's
and
that?
it's just a culture story. And we want to give flowers when we can get these flowers, and it has nothing to do with sports, but it has everything to do
I'm not sure what happened.
with what you doing? You push your buttons over there. You all right?
No, it froze. It froze real quick. So I
Oh
was
my!
trying to
See,
figure
there
out
we
what you
go.
said.
We talking about the police. and we talk about the government, and then every time I'm surprised your lights haven't gone out. I'm surprised
No, we good, man. We good. We good.
I was surprised. All right, so like I was said, I just wanted to bring up this story, ladies and gentlemen, Marian Croak. If you don't know, you need to know. And I'm just going to tell you who she is. Marian Croak is you can read it right here, the black woman who invented the technology for Zoom, FaceTime, and WhatsApp, and many others. She's got over 200 patents to her name. She's finally getting inducted. I don't know finally, but she's being inducted into the Inventors Hall of Fame. We use these tools every single day. We use Zoom like it's nobody's business. We use FaceTime all day. If you're overseas, you use WhatsApp. We wouldn't have these platforms. We wouldn't have these tools if it wasn't for this beautiful black woman right here. So shouts out to Marian Croak.
Salute.
There we go. See, we need to start ending on some. We can't always be positive because we, at least we're not talking about any domestic violence or anything like that tonight. Because we normally end on those things, but just on something like this, something uplifting, a culture story.
I think, as you put it to sports, her applications and her tools have changed the revolutionary in sports.
Truth.
Period. They're able to. Conducting meetings, FaceTime, Zoom meetings to be able to do those things, recruiting Zooms. Her platform from her technology being able to go from the top of the booth to the person just on the iPad down there to be able to do whatever they do is that same similar technology. So, yes, she's revolutionized the way we do as a whole world, the way we talk, but specifically for sports, she's changed the way things are done right now.
Make it plain, Pastor. I just brought it up. Montel made it plain for the people in the back of the room.
Make it, man. Salute her, man, and congratulations. That's what you say. Congratulations to someone like that.
That's it. I do know E40. Listen, Chris, we can talk offline. You're not gonna try to embarrass me on my own show. You're not gonna do that. I still got some the parachute pants and my patent leathers.
Yeah, man. Think about that. So you just brought up a memory. Why couldn't they bring Hammer out at a halftime show? I mean, man. Can you imagine if you're doing a collection in the Bay Area and Hammer comes out? I mean, the biggest hip hop artist.
Well, he can still do it too. I can't still do it anymore. The knees don't work like they used to, but he can still do it.
He can still do it. Can you imagine doing it in the collective of his songs and bringing out whatever? I mean, dude, it would have been amazing to be able to do something like that. So, yeah, I think, man, I really do, man. Bad Bunny, man, salute to you, man, and your fans and everything. But I just don't think this is the right time for that. I really don't. I think it could be a recipe for disaster. It could be a recipe for success, but I think it can also be a recipe for disaster as well. Yeah. So
wrong time. All right, brother, bring us home, man. Bring us home.
Yeah, man. Everything, everybody just, man, again, check up on your loved ones, man. Like I said, we're dealing in a climate that is really unfamiliar to a lot of us, and it's just new and it's just not a peaceful time for everybody. So please check up on your loved ones, make sure they're okay. Please check up on the loved ones who've been in this weather debacle. We have hurricanes when there have been hurricanes, we have storms when there have been storms, we have heat waves when there have been heat waves. Just check up on the people that you love, man, and say your prayers. Always, man. Again, I got something new. I think people chase happiness instead of chasing dollar signs.
I had to let that marinate.
Chase happiness instead of chasing dollar signs. I'm telling you.
Montel said it. I'm gonna put it on a t-shirt.
Bringing the heat, team no sleep with champions meet. We're on the mic, taking over the game. No time for rest, no scrambling for fame. Talking sports, breaking it down from the court to the field. All around town, we stay up all night, grinding on the mic, bringing news, real stories on the